It's closing time for AUX softball, and the title of champion is up in the air here in San Diego. After 8 days of top-level competition, only 148 points separated first through seventh coming into today's final doubleheader. It's been a feast for all fans. A champion gets crowned today, a name etched in Athletes Unlimited history. This is it, the final day of Series 3 of AUX softball. Team O'Toole and Team Fischer, the first game of our doubleheader. Well, there's plenty of room to move for Danielle O'Toole. She won't need to move far. She comes in third place. Rachel Garcia, a couple spots below her. We have seen tremendous individual performances from so many of these players. Can Sam Fischer make a late push up the leaderboard into the top spot? Everybody has a chance today. 43 of the world's best trying to find their way up the leaderboard thanks to that innovative scoring system that makes Athletes Unlimited so unique. 2 weeks of competition, and it all comes down to this. Alongside the Tennessee All-American Madison Shipman, I'm Chucky Kemp. Those individual performances we've seen really leave this up to chance. Anybody can come out on top today.
Well, I think we've seen a lot of movement on the leaderboard as of late, and when I look at the players that have made the biggest jump, it comes down to getting those wins, earning those win points. That's proved to be the most important thing in this league, along with some really stellar individual performances. Somebody like Sam Fischer, who worked so hard in the offseason, working on seeing live pitching so that she was prepared when she came into this AUX season, and she has been firing on all cylinders since she first step foot on the field here in San Diego. But a rookie, and Rachel Garcia has had a fantastic season as well. We've seen what she can do in the circle, but also what she can do with the bat, driving this opposite field home run 210 feet, and then in the same game drives this one to the pole side for a solo shot over the left field wall for 217-foot home run. And she's somebody that leads AUX in total MVP points this season, and she's going up against a veteran in Danielle O'Toole. She's been fantastic all season long in the circle, dominating every single one of her pitches, and actually threw the first complete game in AUX history.
O'Toole and Garcia on the same team. They'll be fighting for those win points together, so who individually can make an impact and maybe find their way to that podium of MVP voting at the end of the game. Let's check in with the third member of our team, Key Michael.
Hey guys, as per usual, I'm down here as close to the action as possible. I'm actually in the chair chat because it's comfortable up here. I cannot believe it's the last day already, but there's some family in the stands whose daughters may end up on the podium, so we might get to chat to them later. I'm just excited to be here. Back to you guys at the booth.
We are extremely excited to be here. Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins, she's here. She will be in the championship season in about a month's time in Chicago, but she is finding her stride.
Well, and she's somebody that graduated Alabama in 2017, but this is her rookie year here at AUX, and she's got elite movement. That curveball that she's been able to throw to both sides has been a pitch that all batters have really struggled to try to get good barrel on, and you're going to notice it, that first pitch that comes out of her hand, how far that ball moves away from these right-handed batters.
Getting set for the first pitch today. Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins will face off with Team O'Toole. Jasmine Jackson leads things off. Sierra Romero in the 3-hole. With runners on base, she has been automatic, a .647 batting average. Keep an eye out for Rachel Garcia. We highlighted her. She has been so clutch as this season has rolled on. Room to move. So many players are still in this. They'll need success for their teams, and they will need to be a big part of that success to rack up some stat points to get an MVP spot. Jasmine Jackson trying to start things off for Team O'Toole. This one slapped into left center field, and a base hit on the second pitch of the game for Jasmine Jackson.
I think it's going to be really important for these left-handed batters to take advantage of the time that they have in the box going up against somebody like Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins. Notice the movement she has on her pitches. It works its way back inside to those lefty batters, and they're the batters that have had the most success off of her in this season.
Now she gets Amanda Lorenz in the 2-hole. Strike one on the outside corner. Scott Mayer behind home plate. We'll hear from our head of officiating for any reviews as we see this last pitch.
curveball. You can see how it starts in that right-handed batter's box and then moves back towards that strike zone, working it down in the zone as well.
Outside ball 1.
I think she's going to pitch very carefully to Amanda Lorenz here. We already see the first 2 pitches. She's really staying on the outside part of the plate because she made a mistake to Amanda Lorenz back in Series 2, brought the curveball too far inside and right into Amanda Lorenz's wheelhouse.
1-1 stays too far outside. Lorenz hitting .273 in this series. She's 3 for 11 at the plate here in Series 3. That one runs too far outside, ball 3. We asked Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins, because I asked you, you said you wouldn't be paying attention to the leaderboard, it would be too much. But for Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins, echoed similar thoughts. She said her husband, though, is watching quite a bit closer. Said he asked her the other day, why'd you go so far down on the leaderboard? She said, we got to win. As a team, we have to win. Take a look at our defense behind Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins. Megan Wiggins, Victoria Hayward is back from the bronze medal celebration in Canada. Mariah Mazon is out in right field. Fischer and Bates on the left, Gaino Harrell on the right, and Taylor Edwards catching Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins.
Going back, Chucky, to what you were talking about some of these players looking at the leaderboard, and I try to put myself in their shoes, and if I would be paying attention closely to that leaderboard, especially coming into a day like today, I think that you just have to focus on winning the ball game. If that's your ultimate goal, then I think you're going to be in the best frame of mind to go out there and perform. For a lot of these players, if you get too focused on the numbers, you get too focused on those individual stat points, that's when you're going to start playing outside of yourself. So it seems like a focus for all of these players today is just to go out there and win ball games, give your team the best chance to move their way up on that leaderboard.
She did say after one of their team meetings that they were kind of discussing, like, can we do this for Sam Fischer? Can we win and do enough to get her up the leaderboard? She's in 9th place, but I thought that was incredible that, you know, they want their team captain to be up there. They want to give her a chance to win.
Well, then, you know, in order for her to win, she has to win these ball games. So they're going out there with that mindset, doing whatever it takes to get those win points, to win the innings, so that Sam Fischer has the best chance of moving up to that top spot.
2-2 count to Sierra Romero. Slaps it left side. Sis Bates looks Jackson back, and it was an awkward position for Jasmine Jackson. But fortunately for Team Fischer, she's not able to advance.
That looked like she was trying to distract Sis Bates a little bit with that hard lead off of second base, maybe even seeing if she could try to draw a throw that direction. But Sis Bates, an absolute pro over at shortstop, made the play over at 1.
Here's Danielle O'Toole. Is not going to start this game. Rachel Garcia will start in the circle, but we would expect if things go south at all that O'Toole will be in quickly. Enters today in the top 3. She has got an absolute chance over there. She needs her team to have success, though. .1-0 ground ball off the glove of Littlejohn-Watkins. Got to be quick. Bates, what a throw! Leaning, but they'll say Harrell came off first, and the runner Vidalis is safe.
I'm so impressed by the throw and the angle that Sis Bates released this ball. It ricochets off of Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins' glove, and look at the angle in which Sis Bates gets this ball over to first. The throw definitely beat her, but the question is did Allie Harrell's foot pull off of first base when she was stretching for that throw?
They're going to rule that an error on Sis Bates, which makes it 1st and 3rd. We're having a conversation. Sam Fischer might want to challenge this, and she will. So we'll hear from our replay official, Mike Rayner, quickly in this game.
Once again, a challenge by Team Fischer on the stage ball at first base.
We have a challenge by Team Fischer on the play at first base. We had a pulled foot and safe. Safe was the call on the field.
does look like there's a gap there. It's hard to tell, but. And Mike Rayner's ready to make the call.
Yes, we have a team challenge of the safe call at first base. After further review, the call on the field is confirmed.
So the runner is safe at first base, according to our replay official Mike Rayner, and it'll be first and third with 2 outs.
And I think that's the right call, especially because the call on the field was that she was safe, and it looked like in that replay that Allie Harrell just barely pulled her foot off, stretching for that throw. I kind of thought for a second, with it being a close play over at first, that we might see Jasmine Jackson try to score, maybe anticipating that the defense wouldn't be expecting her to run around those bases.
Chittister swinging first pitch. Right side, Mazon on the run, out of position, making the catch.
One hit, no runs. One error made. One runner left on base. All right, fans, let's take a
Mariah
look.
Mazon gets it done in the circle. She can do it at the plate, and she can do it in right field. AUX's inaugural season coming to an end. What a year it has been. What 2 weeks it's been. The fans have loved it here in San Diego. A fantastic venue here at San Diego State University for our first AUX season. Zero, 0-0, 10 inning points on the line for Team Fischer if they can play to run here in the bottom of the first. They will come to the plate to face with the hottest players going right now in AUX softball, Rachel Garcia.
And she's somebody that has just continued to move her way up on the leaderboard. One of the advantages of being a two-way player, we know what she can do with the bat, but how about her in the circle, bringing the ball with really high velocity, upper 60s, and that great curveball, rise ball combination. So a lot of upspin on her pitches. She also has an off-speed pitch that she's going to throw in there, but it's really impressed me to see how Rachel Garcia has improved from Series 1 now here to Series 3 in the way that she's locating and commanding all of her pitches.
She sees Victoria Hayward to start things off. Ball 1 to Hayward. Sam Fischer happy to have Victoria Hayward back. The Canadian bronze medal celebration pulled her away yesterday, so they made changes. Sis Bates goes from 1 back to 9 with Hayward returning. You see Fischer herself there in that 3 spot. Hayward hitting .474 as a leadoff hitter. Spins that one foul. 1-1 count. Victoria did not receive points yesterday. She was able to leave to go to that celebration, but did not pick up any of her team's inning win points. She entered the final series in 8th place. She's fallen down a little bit since then. But we've seen it. She's still in it, technically. From some of the performances we've seen, if she were able to have 2 of those today, you just never know. Up top, ball 1.
And Victoria Hayward's somebody that's been on a lot of winning teams, but also she's had a great individual season, specifically from an offensive standpoint. Holds up on that pitch, up and out of the zone. Coming into this ball game, batting .559. We knew talking to these slappers and these lefty speed game players that they were so looking forward to getting the opportunity to play on dirt, to take advantage of the fact that this is a very fast infield and a hard infield, and we've seen the slappers thrive throughout this AUX season.
2-2 up top, ball 3. 3-2. Seventh pitch coming from Garcia. Slapped left side. Chittister has to be quick at third, and she is. They knock down Hayward for out number 1.
The only person on the infield that had a chance at getting Victoria Hayward out on this ground ball is Amanda Chittister. And look at the way that she comes across, cuts that ball off before it reaches Kaylee Clifton in that shortstop position, fires over to first base to start the defensive tone for her team in the bottom of the first inning.
Wiggins There it is. This is what it can happen. Rachel Garcia had 240 and 228 in their doubleheader to start Series 3. But that's just an example of what you can do in a single game. So for Garcia, it was 468 points in their doubleheader day, and she immediately shot up into the top 3 and was in the conversation for champion.
Well, there's a couple of wins and racking up the inning points, those rollover points, and also a stellar individual performance from Rachel Garcia is what led to all of those points. And we talked about how she has just progressively gotten better and better every single game that we've seen her. Her hitting has remained pretty consistent this entire season, but it's the pitching and the way that she's been able to locate pitches has really stepped up. Think back to that first series. She was missing too far off of the plate and then over-adjusting, bringing her pitches over the heart of the plate, and that's what these batters are going to capitalize on, but now doing a much better job of keeping her pitches outside of that strike zone, getting some swings and misses.
Up and in, full count. They're making her work here early in this game. 13th pitch coming to just the second batter. Sam Fischer getting a lot of looks on deck. 3-2 outside, and Wiggins is aboard. 8 points for Megan Wiggins. Look at the defense behind Rachel Garcia, Lorenzen left, Aaliyah Andrews and Jasmine Jackson in center and right. A lot of speed out there. Chittister Clifton has showed off her athleticism at shortstop. Sierra Romero on the right side. Jasmine Jackson's been moving out there in right field. Sam Fisher's first chance. Big cut right there on the rise ball. Sam Fischer averaging almost 109 points per game this season. She's got 2 games today. Now, most likely, she will need more than that to put herself in a good position. I think realistically, she's going to need more than what that average is, and we have seen that from her. You see her right there in 9th, 264 points back of Deja Mulipola. Talked about the players tracking it. They might say they don't. We are tracking it.
I'm just glad you're really good at math because you're the one that's calculating these things in real time. Rise ball up and inside. Fischer laid off of that one.
Fouls this back. Still 1-2. Wiggins on first, 1 out. 10 inning points on the line, and they could all count today. Fischer and Garcia. 2 of them toward the top of the leaderboard. Another big swing here from Sam.
Going after those rise balls up in the zone. Swung and missed at one a little bit higher for the first pitch. So far, Garcia locating that one up and inside, and we know that Sam Fischer is a right-handed batter, similar to myself, that loves to hack at those ones because you always feel like they have a chance of leaving the yard.
This one spun. Clifton diving and flips to Romero to get the lead runner.
A fantastic defensive play by Kaylee Clifton at shortstop. Sam Fischer gets a bit jammed up on this swing, going right back up the middle, and it's the first step with the dive and the toss, all basically in one motion over to Sierra Romero at second base. We've seen fantastic plays from the infielders on all of these teams. And it's plays like that when you know pitchers love to see it because it looked like it was going to be a base hit up the middle, but because these defenses are anticipating where the ball's going to end up, they always seem to be in the right spot at the right time.
Taylor Edwards quickly behind in the count, 0-2. Taylor entered Series 3 in 10th place. Got the outside corner. Rachel Garcia hangs a 0 on the board, and that's how it stands as we go to the second. 20 inning points on the line.
For her first strikeout on the afternoon, Garcia goes with the curveball to get Taylor Edwards looking. We still have a tie ball game headed into the top of the second.
"20 inning points on the line, second inning. Team O'Toole, Team Fischer, first of our doubleheader. The final day of AUX softball here in San Diego. Danielle O'Toole happy with the way the first inning went as far as what Rachel Garcia did in the circle. Had to fight for it, but did get Team Fischer out with no runs aboard. Rachel Garcia will lead it off here in the second. Over the last, really late Series 2, I think, is where we started to see it, into Series 3, the resurgence of the superstar that is Rachel Garcia.
Well, she's somebody that was battling a lot of injuries last season. So coming into this AUX season, she finally felt fully healthy, had a lot of time to prepare for this season, feeling good. It's so important to have your body feeling good, not having to deal with those nagging injuries when you play against some great competition.
Maison is getting worked in right field, but she's done a nice job. She has a smile on her face.
I think she's going to have a smile on her face every time a fly ball gets hit out that direction and she makes a nice grab on it. I think we were joking yesterday, we're used to seeing people like her and Alicia Ocasio all over the field, but here the pitchers truly showing out how they could do more than just pitch in the circle.
We saw Gwen Svekis in left field yesterday, but they wouldn't hit her a ball.
Yeah, we kept hoping that a ball was going to get hit that direction. A couple of foul balls got hit that direction.
Did you play any outfield? Did you ever get in the outfield at Tennessee?
No.
What would it have looked like?
I would have been fine if the ball was in front of me. Going back towards the wall, that's when things started to get a little sketchy. Although I did love throwing people out at home on the relays in from the outfield. So technically I was on the grass, but playing the shortstop position.
Clifton back to Maison, under it, and makes the catch. That's 3 now in the first 5 outs of the game.
She looks like a pro out there, too, the way that she's moving her feet, drop step back first as soon as it's put in play. Look at her. Quick feed out there, acting like she does that every day.
Ryan Maison said, late entry for Geico defensive MVP, please. Hit a great catch on the run to end the first inning. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins taking care of business right now. Gave up a leadoff single. Since that point, 1 runner reached on an error. This inning has been spectacular so far. 2 quick flyouts.
There's a part of me that wonders if maybe there was a bit of a thought process to possibly put somebody like Megan Wiggins over in that right field position, knowing that Sydney Littlejohn Watkins in the circle is going to funnel a lot of balls that direction. With the curveball curving its way back inside to the left-handed batters and, of course, away from the right-handed batters. The ones that have put good barrel on the ball have hit the ball opposite field or towards right field direction, but they decided to show the confidence they have in Mariah Maison's defensive abilities by putting her out there today.
Sachel Palacios thought about it. Did she go? No. 2-2.
Working this pitch low and away to Palacios. It's a good hold.
Our umpires today, Scott Mayer, Smokey Eds, and Laura Head over there at third base. Crews have done a fantastic job all season. We've had reviews, but for the most part, we have not had a lot of stuff overturned. They have been on it in the game, making the calls correct, and most of the times, it's just a confirmation. Oh, laser toward O'Toole in the dugout there on the right side. When and will we see Danielle O'Toole into this game. Palacios, great battle there against Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins, and she's aboard. 8 points for Sachel.
Got several lefties in a row, of course. The walk to Sachel Palacios, and then coming up right after her, you've got Aaliyah Andrews. Then it goes back to the top with Jasmine Jackson, Amanda Lorenz. And this is the row where you're going to see Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins be very careful pitching to these lefties. She does not want to hang it up and inside to them.
Good start to Andrews. Aaliyah's somebody who I think starting to come around with the bat too as of late. We crown a champion today, but we're also looking to the end of July, and that championship season starts in Rosemont. I think what will be really interesting to see is to hear from these players in a month. How did you approach the 30 days, but basically 30 days between the two seasons? Because we talk all the time about how you get prepped throughout the entire season, but how do you do it? What's that month look like? I think that'll be really interesting to hear.
I think the one thing we hear consistently from the hitters, at least, is them trying to do whatever they can to continue to see live pitching. And I'd imagine that these players that have played here in AUX are going to have a bit of an advantage going into that championship season just because they've seen live pitching. Also, the competition that they're going to be seeing in Athletes Unlimited in July. So they already have those reps, they already have those at-bats that they can take with them and use that as momentum to start off that Athletes Unlimited championship season.
2-2 with Palacios on first. Slap left side, Bates gonna go to second. Looked high off of her hand, but Gano makes the grab, and that's out number 3. 20 points on the line for Team Fischer. As we go to the bottom. Oh, the pups are here. Dog day at the ballpark. AUX softball in San Diego, a match made in heaven. You basically have less help against an even denser talent.
Ooh, got yourself a ground out.
Danielle Laurie's daughter, Maddie, getting Haley McClenny to ground out from home. Well, big stuff coming. July 21st, lacrosse begins in Maryland. Softball just 8 days later, the championship season in Rosemont. You can see it all on ESPN. Visit auprosports.com for more info. You get Haley McClenny out, it's a good day. And I'll tell you what, Danielle Laurie's daughter is half the pitcher that Danielle was. There's some batters in a few years are gonna have some serious problems.
Wonder if we're gonna see Maddie pitching out here for Athletes Unlimited one day. We see Garcia working this curveball away from the righty, Courtney Gano. Do we think Maddie's going to be a curveball pitcher like Rachel Garcia, or have that nasty change that Danielle Laurie, her mom, had? Either way, it's 4 points, right, when you get that out? Just makes it a little bit better knowing that it was Haley McClenny that was up to bat.
I want to hear Danielle Laurie's analysis in the booth of her daughter throwing in the circle at the professional level. You've got to do it for your sister.
Yes.
You said, no, you're not taking it easy on her.
No, I will say that I'm probably much nicer on the broadcast than I would be in person if we were going through some of her at-bats, so she probably appreciates when I'm actually on the call for her games.
She doesn't want to hear it outside TV, though. Come on, your time's done. Courtney Gano, 2-2. She's on the wrong side of the field today. They're the home team. Our chair chat is on the visitor side. Gano pops this one up. Tough spot! Oh, my goodness. Aaliyah Andrews was moving. There's a reason she got the nickname Air Aaliyah, and she didn't catch that, but that was like full-on extension.
She ran a long way for this fly ball. Look at how she gets completely parallel to the ground, doing whatever she can to try to come up with that catch, just a bit short. And another hit in the books for Courtney Gano, somebody who's seeing the ball really well as of late, heading into Series 3, has stepped it up at the plate.
I was saying she's on the wrong side of the field for chair chat. She's been in there 2 straight days, said it brought some luck because they scored when she was in it both times.
She said her teammates told her to go back out to that chair.
She said she'll be back. I don't know. She's going to have to sneak around outside. I'm not sure.
If we see her sprint across the field,
Yeah.
we know what she's doing.
Allie Harold didn't necessarily want that as it got closer to her, but couldn't hold back.
Quick snap throw from Palacios. I think out of all the catchers here, Palacios throws down to first more than anybody else. As a base runner, you have to be ready for that.
She may be the only one that's done it too, but we've seen it 3-4 times.
And I'd imagine that's something that they're talking about too between Palacios and Tori Vidalis at first. She's expecting it and anticipating that she's going to throw down there.
Geico leaderboard, Rachel Garcia right there in 4th place. O'Toole ahead of her by 46 points. Swing and a miss from Harrell. Garcia has out number 1.
Throws this pitch, tailing away from the lefty Harrell. A lot of tight rotation, good velocity too. When you know that a pitcher is going to bring the ball 67, 68 miles an hour, as a batter you have to decide that much sooner to swing the bat or to take, and right there it seemed like Allie Harrell kind of caught in between.
Gwen Svekis watches ball 1 upstairs. Gwen played her college ball at Oregon. Very involved with Athletes Unlimited as a full-time job with the organization. This one spins, gonna be tough, and Garcia makes the play. Thought that might spin back toward first base, but it sits down nicely for Garcia, and there's 2 away.
Garcia's very good at fielding her position too. There's a couple of pitchers here that are well known for the way that they field ground balls in that pitcher circle. And she was tracking that spin, watching it to see if it was going to kick foul or if she still had an opportunity to get that out over at first base. She decides to throw one, and Courtney Gano moves on over into scoring position.
Mariah Mazon, who has done it all, trying to bring the run around from second base and give her team 20 inning win points. Team Fischer, as we look at the leaderboard, will show you a lot over the next few hours here on ESPN. But as we look at the leaderboard, the one thing to note is anyone on the gold team has an extra game today. It's their doubleheader day. So you see Sam Fisher. She's the only one in the top 10 on her team, but they still have a game to make up. So after this one, it'll start to look a little bit more even. Team O'Toole will be done. And there it is. Garcia in the zone for strike 3.
Garcia has been setting up these curveballs so well with the rise ball inside to get him jammed up, and then goes away with this late moving curveball. She's already racked up 3 strikeouts on the afternoon. Still tied as we head to the top of the 3rd.
Zero, 30 inning win points on the line as we go to the 3rd, tied between Team O'Toole and Team Fischer. Well, we continue to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Title IX with the last 2 parts of our 4-part docu-series, 37 Words, about the battle for equal rights in education and athletics, the efforts to nullify its impact, and how this landmark civil rights law still resonates today. Parts 3 and 4 premiere Tuesday at 8 Eastern on ESPN and ESPN Plus immediately following the premieres. Well, we are joined in our chair chat by a very special man, John Patrikoff, the co-founder and CEO of Athletes Unlimited. And John, AUX has been tremendous from our perspective. We know this was Athletes Unlimited's move to expand one of the leagues. Now that you've seen it happen and it's almost done, how do you reflect on it? What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's far surpassed our expectations. Another huge first in Athletes Unlimited's short history. We've only been around since 2020, and now to launch AUX, have it go so well. The feedback from the players has been amazing. The fans have loved it. The fact that we've been on such a national platform with ESPN has been terrific, and we're just excited about what we've seen. It's and of course, coming down to this incredible final day of action and the leaderboard being as tight as it is exactly what we hope to see.
And John, June 23rd was such a special day. How exciting was it being on the air for the 50th anniversary of Title IX?
It was really, it was a special day. It was one we talked about and planned for a while. Obviously, a lot of hard news came out the day after, and that hit everybody, I think, very hard, and I think people are still feeling, you know, they're thinking through how to react and how to take this in. It was a very difficult day yesterday for a lot of the players, and I know still today for a lot of us. But the 23rd was very special, and I think to commemorate what happened in the past and to look forward to the future, I think we all really are proud of what we were able to do on the 23rd.
And that's what we're doing a little bit too here today, is we're celebrating a champion. We're also looking toward what's coming up next for Athletes Unlimited, and you have two big sports, lacrosse and softball, going to start up again very soon. Tons of coverage on ESPN. What would your message be to fans as we look ahead to a big July and August for Athletes Unlimited?
Well, first of all, for the softball fans that are watching, obviously incredible softball that will be coming up this July in Rosemont. You'll see most of these players back on the field, and then a number of players who weren't able to join us for AUX who will be out there for the championship season. It's going into our third season. I think people are incredibly excited, and I'm looking forward to it tremendously. And then lacrosse, is of course, as well. That's our second season of lacrosse. What I love hearing from fans of Athletes Unlimited and Athletes Unlimited softball or any of the sports is when they say, I loved it so much, I'm going to tune in and watch lacrosse. And I hope that's what all these softball fans will do who are watching today and who've loved this. They'll give it a try. People love the format, the team switching, the way in which every moment counts, the fact that there are points on every play. I think it's really been tremendously successful, and I think I love seeing not just softball fans tune in for softball, but other fans of other sports giving it a shot. And we love the format. We love how the players are taking charge and leading this league and really shaping the future.
That's all we hear from players, too. They love it. We love it. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us.
Thanks so much.
John Patricoff, co-founder and CEO of Athletes Unlimited, and what they've done is unbelievable. It's a new type of sports, how we watch sports, how we root for sports, and to do it in this realm of women's professional sports and to do it so successfully, the future looks so bright.
And it's so innovative, of course, with the point system, but also I just love hearing from these players. They're so grateful for just the opportunity to compete and to continue playing the sport that they love, and that's why you can see them bringing so much joy, so much passion out there on the field. Somebody that embodies that, of course, completely is Sis Bates, and even Amanda Lawrence, who's up at the plate too. Both players that play with so much passion out there on the field. And Sis Bates again showing off why she's one of my top candidates for defensive MVP for this season.
That Geico defensive MVP comes with a cash bonus as well. So we see Sierra Romero, who was one of the other ones that's been on your list. Watches ball one from Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins. Romero grounded out to Sis Bates her first time up in the first inning. That one stays too high. Ball two. This is shaping up. It's already a great start today because we're tracking the leaderboard, but the first set of inning points have rolled all the way into the third, so we're going to get a 30-point jump at least, and it could continue to roll over if no one scores. And the way these pitchers look, that very well might be the case. But the drama is building here for a big move on the scoreboard for a number of players. Two-one. Couldn't get it to turn over quite enough, and it's 3-1. Edwards wants to talk to her pitcher.
I don't think Taylor Edwards liked that one called for a ball inside. That backdoor curve, you can see just the way some of these right-handed batters are taking that pitch, then moving backwards. Shows you just the elite movement that she has on that curveball.
You can see it there. We'll just start to, Sam Fischer could start to chip away at this lead if her team can get a stop here and a run in the third. Danielle O'Toole can start to jump even higher on the leaderboard as Romero watches strike two. Soft grounder, Bates charging, throws, and they get Romero. 1-2-3 for Sydney Littlejohn-Watkins. To the bottom of the third we go. Still tied up, 30 points on the line. Sis Bates having another day.
Score first on three. 1, 2, 3, score!
My goal is to age like fine wine the way all of our 30-plus club is.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready
ready to play today. Look at me, I could be center field.
Speaking of aging, happy birthday, partner.
Thank you so much, Chucky. I
The
appreciate
30 Plus
it.
Club.
Oh, I knew that was coming next, yes. Gracefully entering my 30s. Thank you so much.
Sis Bates, left side, Clifton. Got her by a half step at first. You could still make that throw, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could throw it. I'm just going to be sore for about 2 weeks after that. Sis Bates moves really quickly down the first baseline. Nice job by Tori Vidalis, too, to reach and snag that throw. Quick play made by Kaylee Clifton.
Top of the order, Victoria Hayward with 1 out against Rachel Garcia. Swings over the top of it. Hey, there it is, with your cupcake.
It was delicious, by the way. Our crew has been so awesome these past 2 weeks. They surprised me with that cupcake.
Hayward lays down the bunt. Garcia cannot get her. So a bunt single for Victoria Hayward with 1 out. I almost said Madison Ship, and I'm having flashbacks.
I did not run or bunt anywhere close to what we're seeing Victoria Hayward do. Just a master at getting such great touch. And we were just talking last inning about how great of a fielder Rachel Garcia is, and there's nothing anybody could do to get Hayward out on that bunt just because of how much touch she has when she puts it on the dirt.
Now Wiggins with Hayward on first base. Victoria, in the first couple of years of Athletes Unlimited, has not been afraid to steal bases. Got Megan Wiggins at the plate. 0-1 count. There's Hayward at first. Should have some fresh legs. She was gone yesterday. Although maybe a little jet lag, you just never know. Outside, ball 1. Palacios is definitely keeping an eye on her over there.
Yeah, because she's got so much speed and because she's a threat to steal, you're going to see the infield shift over. Sierra Romero practically planted right on top of second base, and that tells me that she's going to be covering the steal, and Rachel Garcia is going to try to funnel the ball over to the left side.
There it is on the outside corner, and it's fouled out of play by Wiggins.
I know we've talked a lot about some of the great defensive plays that we've seen throughout this AUX season, but a lot of credit goes to the pitchers to be able to hit their spots. Garcia knows that the left side of her infield is shifted towards that left field line, so she continues to pump that pitch outside to the lefty Megan Wiggins, hoping that she's going to hit a ground ball that direction.
Nobody's been able to steal on Palacios. She's 3 for 3, throwing out runners, stealing. Up top, 2-2. Shell had just a rocket from her knees in Series 2 to get a runner at second base. Two, ground ball under the glove. It worked out better that way. Throw to first, not in time. Wiggins beats the throw. But I think that was the better alternative than Garcia actually fielding it.
All part of the plan. Garcia watching that one go between her legs, knowing Sierra Romero's place behind her. She tried to field it, just didn't get her glove down enough, but you're exactly right. It worked out better because Romero was perfectly positioned to get that force out over at second base. Thought for a second she was going to be able to turn 2, but Wiggins too fast on the first baseline.
Chance for Sam Fischer. Geico leaderboard. This is a big matchup right here. Garcia in 4th, Fischer in 9th. There's one way pitchers can lose points, and it's earned runs. You have a big bat in Sam Fischer. So when you look at this inning, this situation, saw Fischer go yard the other night. If she were to do something like that here, hit a home run, it's minus 20 for Garcia on the 2 runs. Fischer picks up 40 for the home run, and they would get the inning win points. That's how quickly the leaderboard can change. These are the matchups we'll keep an eye on all night long. Down and in, 2-1.
Plate umpire called this one too low in the zone. You're going to throw inside. That's where you want to miss to Sam Fischer. Down.
Again, down 3-1.
A couple of off-speed pitches to Sam Fischer in this at-bat. One to start off this at-bat and then goes back to it right there. Good hitters count for Fischer, though.
3-1, Fischer over Clifton, but she runs it down, and that is out number 3. Another 0 from Garcia. And that's the score. 40 inning points on the line for Sam Fischer and company. The drama builds. 40 inning points on the line here in the 4th. It is still 0-0. It's a new season, a new look, and there is new merch. Be sure to check out all the brand new Athletes Unlimited items, including exclusive AU Title IX shirts. They're in the shop. Just down the right field line. Go to shop.auprosports.com to purchase yours today. Tori Vidalis leading things off against Sydney Littlejohn Watkins. It has been a pitcher's duel through 3 innings. Vidalis reached on the air, and they actually changed it from an error on Sis Bates to one on Harrell for pulling the foot at first base. This is popped up out of play, strike 1.
We haven't said pitcher's duel too much throughout this AUX season, but I feel like starting in Series 2 and now here in Series 3, we're starting to say it more and more. These pitchers have really stepped up as this season has gone on.
I think we both thought it would be, the hitters dominated, and that's Vidalis lasering one up the middle off second base. We thought the hitters would continue, and Vidalis says, well, I am. But it's been the pitchers coming around.
Now the pitchers have settled in, but the hitters are still hanging in there. This movement, Vidalis is anticipating that that pitch is going to continue to move away from her, and she smacks it right back up the middle. Really hard hit by Tori. And Sydney Littlejohn Watkins was working her way out of the strike zone, knowing she's a batter that likes to be aggressive early in counts. Was very patient, got something she could get good barrel on, and got a base hit.
One ball to Amanda Chittister. Flew out to right field her first time up, and it was Mariah Mazon in right field at that time that made a nice running catch. Now it's Nicole Rangel Mendez. Chittister there in 10th. She can make a move over her the captain of the other team, Sam Fischer. All Chittister would need is a single, a walk, hit by a pitch, anything. 3 points will jump Sam Fischer. Two one outside, 3-1. Nobody out, the runner on first is Vidalis. Strike 2. Here's what Chittister can do. Any sort of base hit, stolen base, sacrifice. 8 points for a walk or a hit by pitch. The only way to lose points as an offensive player, as that catches the corner and Chittister goes down. That's a big out.
Got her thinking curveball away and then pumps 2 backdoor curveballs inside, back to back. Again, the way that these batters are taking on those pitches can tell you so much about the movement that they're seeing up there in the box. When you see their upper bodies try to get out of the way, that's telling you that they think that that pitch is going to hit them, and it curves back over into the strike zone.
1 out. Rachel Garcia in, watches ball 1. She flew out to right field her first time up in 4th place. Ground ball left side, Bates going to second on the toss. Gano turns it, but not in time to get Garcia. 2 outs.
I feel like the overwhelming response if you're an opposing team knowing that Sis Bates is playing shortstop is, you know, if it's anywhere close that it's pretty much a guaranteed out by the way that she's been playing defense. Has to move over to her right just a little bit. Garcia came around that swing. Still able to get that lead runner out for out number 2.
Clifton 2 outs. Stays inside, ball 1.
A couple of close calls inside too. We saw that pitch almost looked like in the same exact location. Struck Amanda Chittister out looking. Goes back to it to Kaylee Clifton, and it's called for a ball.
This is popped up. It's going to get out of play, foul as Harrell ran over. Here's the leaderboard. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins in the circle for Team Fisher came in 15th place, and we kind of looked at it about those big games that we showed you. What can people do in single games? What have we seen here at AUX? She came in 15th place, and she has a good game here. They win the innings. I think there's a direct, we talked about this, I think there's a more direct route to an MVP for a pitcher. If you have a good performance, I think it's more of a lock that you're going to get voted an MVP rather than, you know, 5 or 6 hitters having decent games. But she is somebody that I think can jump up the leaderboard.
Especially if they can get some wins too. And talking to her before the game, she knew how important it was just to go out there with the mindset to win ball games. And I think we're seeing pitchers be more in that MVP conversation because of how deep they're going into games. I feel like back in Series 1, it was maybe 2 innings, and then they were getting pulled for somebody else. But now we're seeing them go 4, 5, even complete games here in Series 3.
O'Toole and Corrick, we've seen that from them. Ground ball right side. Gaino smothers it. They've got 3 outs. 40 inning points on the line. Team Fisher coming back up against Rachel Garcia in the bottom of the 4th. Key Camp in the stands. The points continue to roll over. 40 on the line between Team O'Toole and Team Fisher as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning here in San Diego. Let's bring in the 3rd member of our team, Key Michael.
Hi, I'm here with Chris. This is Rachel's mom.
Hi.
We were geeking out over volleyball, but I promised I would keep it softball related. How exciting is it that Rachel's in the running to be the finalist?
Very exciting considering the start. Her start, yeah. She had a rough first day, but she's done really well getting herself back to Rachel form.
She's such a professional. I know she's new out here, but seeing her warm up, seeing her play, just seeing her professionalism, like you see it all the time, but she's still your little girl.
She is, always.
How
only.
You're exactly. How excited are you to see her? I mean, if you did see her on the podium, what would that feel like for you?
Just yet another proud moment for us, for our family. Yeah, she's done really well in her career, and yeah, this would be just another thing to add to the many that she already has.
Well, last question before I let you go. Are there any hurdles that she's had to overcome? She's absolutely an inspiration to a lot of little girls out there, and I know I've met many of them personally, but they might be wondering if there's some difficulties she's had to overcome at all to get here.
She's had she had 5 knee surgeries, just coming off of one after the season ended, or after the Olympics. So yeah, she's had to face a lot of adversity in her career, a lot of struggles, a lot of personal struggles. You know, when we were talking about mental health, it is a big deal and it should be talked about. And she's just done very well in surrounding herself with the right people and getting the help that she needs. And she's committed to making herself healthy, keeping herself healthy.
Well, I'm so proud of her for speaking out on those issues and also carrying herself the way that she does, and it'll make it that much sweeter if we do see her out there with a medal around her neck. So good luck, Rachel. Thank you so much.
Orange Teens or Tully's Teens.
Thank you, Key.
Thank you.
Plenty of accomplishments for Rachel Garcia, former National Pitcher of the Year at UCLA, National Freshman of the Year, 4-time All-American. She grew up 3 hours north of here in Lancaster, California. I think it's safe to say, too, she is a fan favorite.
Yeah, you can hear the entire stands, especially all these young softball players in the stands, just erupt whenever her name gets announced, whenever they find out that she's going to be out there in the circle or up to the plate. I think it would take me about 4 pages in my notebook to list out all of the accomplishments that Rachel Garcia has had in her career, but looking to add another one here at AUX.
She's just 18 points behind her teammate Danielle O'Toole. That would be 5 outs for Garcia, and the question is, will Danielle give her that chance? And we've talked about it, they're not watching the scoreboard, but how much drama would there be right now if O'Toole comes in the next inning? As this one is down the third base line. Gano rounds first, headed for second, and she is in with a stand-up double. That is huge with just 1 out here in the 4th.
Another example of just how well Courtney Gano is seeing the ball right now at the plate. Gets around this one, drives it straight down that left field line. Amanda Chittister tries to slide and dive and keep that ball in front, but because it scoots past her, and because Courtney Gano had her eyes on that ball the entire time rounding first base, she's able to make it over into scoring position.
Single and a double for Gano, 30 points individually for her. The bat continues to heat up. 1 out, Allie Harrell at the plate. A run standing at second base that is worth at least 40 points. Outside corner, strike 2. She popped the mitt there too, she brought it.
She's got a little bit of zest on her pitches right now. It seems like she's throwing harder and harder every single inning that we're seeing her.
0-2.
I feel like the game started out right there, 66, 67 miles an hour, but we're seeing one pop in 68 miles an hour.
One, two, swing and a miss. Down goes Harrell.
This is such a good moving pitch because we're used to seeing that curveball, rise ball combination, so those pitches are gonna curve back into the lefty batters. This one tails down and away, so as a lefty, you're anticipating the ball moving back towards your direction, and by the time you go to swing, it just travels further and further away from your barrel.
Two outs for Gwen Svekis, who grounded out to Garcia her first time up, watches ball 1 low. Gwen hitting just 172 here. This is a big spot for her team. Gwen Svekis got every stitch. Goodbye. Relief for Svekis.
As soon as that ball left her bat, Gwen immediately threw her hands up in the air. She knew that thing was gone. She comes up in a huge spot, 2 outs. She anticipates seeing an inside pitch, a rise ball, opens up her front side and absolutely unloads on that one, driving it over the stands in left field out into the parking lot. You were talking about how much the leaderboard can swing with just one swing of the bat, and that right there is a perfect example.
Huge spot for her team. They will all receive 40 points for the inning win points that have rolled over all the way into the 4th inning. Maison spins one, and that's in for a single. It just felt like relief when she raised her hands like, man, she's been hitting the ball hard the last few days especially, and finally, she's I can't find a hole out there, so let me just put it in the parking lot where no one is.
Sometimes you just get snake bitten up at the plate. You start seeing the ball well, and you just hit the ball hard right to people on defense. Her hands are still up in the air over in the dugout, just so excited because she knows just how much that swing meant for her team and her team captain. Coming into this ball game, everybody was trying to do whatever they could to move Sam Fischer up on the leaderboard, and swings like we just saw from Gwen Svekis, getting those 40 inning points, the home run points. Those are the types of big moments that really help out Sam Fischer.
Left side, Bates finds a hole. Back-to-back singles after the home run. Fischer down in 9th place. She'll be moving her score up. She will not catch McClenny. She will catch McClenny. She won't catch McClenny. She'll be just behind her. This is me trying to do math quickly in my head.
Math in real time is what we're all experiencing right now.
Keeping the viewers right on it too, saying yes, no, maybe, not sure. Rachel Garcia's day is done, and now Danielle O'Toole coming in with 2 runners on and 2 outs in the 4th. O'Toole's chasing the top spot too.
Gwen Svekis with the big blow. They've got the 2-0 lead.
Gwen Svekis talking to their facilitator, Charlotte Morgan. Sam Fischer was talking to her just a couple moments ago, and you just have to wonder, what are the conversations happening right now in that dugout about how they're going to manage the rest of this game? Danielle O'Toole, first batter she'll face is the leadoff batter, Victoria Hayward, with 2 runners on.
Tough spot for Danielle O'Toole to come in this ball game, but she is used to it. She is a veteran out there in the circle. 67 miles per hour. She's got a really good drop ball, curve ball combination. Coming from the left side, she's going to be a completely different look than what we saw from Rachel Garcia. She's got that elite level changeup too that she'll throw in any count.
She's ahead to Victoria Hayward. This is interesting too. I think if O'Toole comes in here, she'll end up throwing 3 1/3. But if they come back and she holds them scoreless, I think that might be worthy of an MVP nod too. And that's going to be really important for her if she wants to try and climb up the leaderboard. Ground ball left side, got to force it third, and O'Toole gets out of the jam immediately. She gets 4 for the out, but it is 40 points for Team Fischer with 1 swing of the bat from Gwen Svekis. A 2-0 lead. Sam Fischer trying to make her way up the leaderboard.
Gwen means everything. It's very strange how you can find a person, find a soul who is just your balance in everything. And even when we're like butting heads, we still balance butting heads. Even when we are having the time of our lives, it's like our own different journeys, and it's just so fun. She just means the world to me.
Taylor Edwards talking about her partner Gwen Svekis. If anyone was happier than Gwen on that swing of the bat, it might have been Taylor.
I think we were still seeing flashes of that too in between the innings. We saw Taylor Edwards and just how excited she was, of course, for Gwen, but also for her team too. Can't help but smile when you hear Taylor talking about Gwen and how much she means to her.
And Gwen was 0 for her last 13 prior to that home run. Her first hit since 10 days ago on the 15th against Team Ocasio in Series 1.
Well, like we said, she was hitting the ball hard too. Had a solid line drive to right field, a fly ball out to left, and then finally got a hold of one that there was nobody on the field that was going to catch that one. That one left the yard by about 40 feet over the stands in left field. Sometimes you just got to keep sticking with the process. It can be hard too when you're hitting the ball hard, going right to people. But Gwen, very composed in her at-bats, and it pays off at the best moment.
Palacios, another one, her average under 100, but as a grand slam. Watches ball 2 outside from Sydney Littlejohn Watkins. The inning points reset now. 10 on the line here in the 5th. Palacios, left side, tails foul.
Everybody clap your hands.
Fischer just 12 points behind McClenny, who we'll see in game 2 on Team Zirkle. Palacios right side, Gano has it, flip to Harrell, 1 away.
I know we've talked a lot about defense, but I think Courtney Gano has done an exceptional job in that second base position. When we started out this AUX season, she was playing third base, but because of some injuries, she has really settled into that second base position. And we know the ball coming off the bat is very different at third than it is at second base. But she has just hit the ground running over there, been really solid, covering a lot of ground and being in the right spots that she needs to be to cover bases. Relays all over the field. Leah Andrews swinging on top of this pitch. Somebody again who's trying to use the ground to their advantage.
Strike 2, Andrews behind 0-2 quickly. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins trying to go 5 scoreless. Ground ball left side, Sis Bates jumps. Harrell keeps it in front, but I don't think they had Aaliyah anyway.
Aaliyah knows if she gets that ball to bounce high enough, she's going to be able to leg out that throw coming across the diamond. We were just talking about how hard this infield is and how fast it plays. Hits this one off the end of the bat and immediately takes off towards first. I don't think that throw was going to beat that, get there in time to get Aaliyah Andrews out on that one.
Top of the order, Jasmine Jackson spins a bunt foul for strike 1. Alyssa Denham in the pen for Team Fischer. She could be next. Rachel Fico on the other side getting loose as well. I think it's likely it would be Denham in this game. Strike 2 from Littlejohn Watkins.
And they've got the doubleheader to think about too, so there's a lot of planning that goes into the pitching rotation coming into a day like today. Of course, at the end of it, we're going to have the champion, but also they got to think about how they want to strategically use those arms in the circle, give them the best chance to win these ball games.
One-two count. Just 1 away. Speed at first base in Andrews, speed at the plate in Jackson. Inside, Harrell going to second. They get the lead runner. Yes, they do. Our next WNBA game is Tuesday night with Ryan Howard and the Dream taking on Atlanta Deladon and the Mystics. 7 Eastern on ESPN2 and the app. Don't miss that. 37 Words also coming up. Can't wait to see the final 2 episodes of that docuseries. A lot going on over the next few days on our ESPN family of networks. 2 outs for Amanda Lorenz. Question I have for you is, if you're Sam Fisher managing this team, if you're Charlotte Morgan as a facilitator, what's the conversation like? Are you leaving Sydney Littlejohn Watkins in for the 6th inning if she gets out of this right here?
I think so. I think I'm leaving her in there. Especially knowing if she were to get out of it right here, you've got a lot of righties coming up in the 6th inning between Sierra Romero, Tori Vidalis, and Amanda Chittister. And I think that Sydney Littlejohn Watkins has more of an advantage going against those righties, but it would be a very quick hook on her if she would to get into trouble in that 6th inning. Because again, you got to think down the road too. You've got that doubleheader, and you'd love to be able to have her arm available for you in game 2, somebody to come in relief, just because that ball moves in such a different direction than anybody else that we see out here.
4-pitch walk. Lorenz is aboard. 2 on, 2 out.
I think that walk changes things a little bit. That was a huge at-bat in my mind as far as where they're going to go with the pitching staff in the 6th inning, because now you're getting deeper into the lineup. Still have to find a way to get out of this inning. But I definitely think about bringing in Denham or even Rachel Fico. We've seen Fico come in some really big relief spots.
Ground ball, Bates to a knee, over to Gano, and they get out of the jam. 5 scoreless for Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, who's become a star here at AUX, born again. The former Alabama superstar, getting it done. Two nothing, bottom of the 5th, a chance for 10 more inning points for Team Fischer, leading this very crucial game in the chase in the leaderboard. Some notable players who will return to Rosemont for the championship season. Odyssey Alexander, the former James Madison star, was announced today. Go to Key Michael, who's with another one who will be there.
Guys, I'm with a familiar face if you are an AU softball fan. Erica Piacastelli, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad I'm here. I'm excited.
What is it like being in the stands instead of just watching? Or watching instead of playing?
So different. It's nice to be able to experience the fan life of AU and like just being able to be around the atmosphere and hearing everybody talk about who they think is going to win, the points. When I hear fans talk about, oh, this girl just got 40 points, like, it excites me because it just means that they've been paying attention. So it's been nice to watch. I would love to be on the field, but that's going to come in Rosemont. So just happy to be here.
And can you talk to me a little bit about being in this position? So you've been there when it gets down to it, and the last couple days and points and everything's on the line. What's that feeling like as a player? Like, what are they going through right now?
So much adrenaline. Honestly, you're not really thinking about the points because it's just game after game, and the points change so much. Like, Garcia just jumped 22 points from 2 days ago. So points change so much, but I think just adrenaline, and then it's bittersweet, so you're trying to enjoy the moment because you know it's coming to an end, and then you're here in San Diego. I'm sure they're just enjoying this beautiful weather, but it's a very close leaderboard right now, so I'm excited to see what these double headers bring into the points adding up.
And if the fans at home are enjoying AUX, Rosemont's coming up.
It is coming up.
Why should they tune in?
Definitely tune in. I mean, it's just a fun environment, and the points make it more interesting for the fans. And I think as a fan, you see all of your favorite players that have never played together. They've always played against each other. So you're seeing like Amanda Lorenz against Garcia, and then 1 week they're together, they're teammates. So I think it's just a cool atmosphere to be around and just follow along with your favorite players, and then get to do some math while you're watching it and just see also the strategy behind all the teams and the captains.
I could not agree more. So before I let you go, last thing, who's your pick for a win?
It's so close right now, but if I go strategy-wise, I'm shooting for Sam Fischer because she has 2 games today, so that's a lot of points she can bring up right now.
Go Fischer, go gold. Thank you so much, Erica.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Well, Sam Fisher's at the plate. She can do something right here against Danielle O'Toole. Could help herself, could hurt O'Toole. You see Danielle in the 3rd spot. She is just 70 back of Deja Mulipola. Sam Fischer down in the 9th spot, just 12 back of McClenny. Fischer pops this one up, shallow center field. Clifton and Andrews coming on, and Aaliyah calls her off.
We saw that leadoff single from Megan Wiggins, and you think you got some momentum going on your side, and Sam Fischer way out in front on that off-speed pitch coming out of the hand of O'Toole. Leah Andrews showing her range, coming a long way to catch that shallow fly ball. Outfield was playing pretty deep too, respecting the power that Sam Fischer has at the plate. It's a big out, number 1.
Now Taylor Edwards, who waits on it to Andrews, diving, makes the catch! Air Aaliyah cleared for takeoff!
Chucky, I think you spoke that one into existence because she was so close to making a catch like this back earlier at the beginning part of this game. This one hit on a line, times it perfectly. Again, parallel to the ground. When she leaves her feet, she is completely selling out. Look at that catch, just textbook. And she knows that Megan Wiggins is on first base, so she immediately pops up to make sure that she doesn't try to tag up. But Aralia strikes again.
Never any delays on Aralia. Knew you'd like that.
The puns are getting good. What are we, game 11 together so far?
Yeah.
I'm surprised it took 11 games to come out with one like that.
My bad. Courtney Gano has a 1-1 count to O'Toole. Runner on first, still Wiggins. Gano is 2 for 2, a single, a double, and came around to score. Misses outside, ball 2. Gano chopper over the head of the third baseman Chittister. The inning stays alive.
Courtney Gano, have yourself a day. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double. See her smiling over there. Her hard work paying off. We talk about the slappers using the ground, but how about these righties? Pounding the ball into the ground, bouncing it over the head of Amanda Chittister at third base. 2 runners on board now with 2 away.
The rookie Allie Harrell, she struck out both times to the plate. Can she come through? Watches the off speed for strike 1. Ada Marshall sits in 28th on the leaderboard, trying to help her own cause here and her team's. Big swing there. Danielle O'Toole, she's got some energy today. I mean, that is really popping the mitt.
Good movement on her pitches too. Very determined in the circle.
Yeah, she looks locked in, and there it is. Swing and a miss from Harrell. O'Toole puts a 0 up in the 5th inning. Keeps it at a 2-run game and moves the inning points over to the 6th. 20 on the line when we come back in San Diego. Two 2-0, top of the 6th. Team O'Toole looking for runs in an inning that is worth 20. Unlimited Club members, you can earn points for watching tonight's broadcast. Enter the code on the screen in your Athletes Unlimited app to earn points and move up the leaderboard. Great benefits include voting on league decisions, virtual events with players, unlocking rewards, and more. Download the app for free and join the Unlimited Club today. One of the league decisions you can vote on is the Geico Defensive MVP, voted on by the players and Unlimited Club members. Alongside Madison Shipman, I'm Chucky Kemp. 0-1 count to Tori Vidalis as Sydney Littlejohn Watkins stays out there in the 6th inning. You said you'd be quick to pull her, but you would have put her back out.
Yeah, I kind of changed my mind a little bit after she gave up that free pass to Amanda Lorenz. I thought that that would change the strategy coming into the 6th inning, but they are sticking with Sydney Littlejohn Watkins. I think they're just going to try to take advantage of the fact that there are several righties back to back to back in this lineup, and we know what she can do with that curveball moving away. One thing that these captains really have to think about too is you never want to leave your pitcher in there for just that one inning too long. When the ball starts to break, maybe not quite as much, that's when these hitters are going to capitalize. So I'd imagine that Sam Fischer has a really close eye on what Littlejohn Watkins is doing out there in the circle. You can see she's pitching very carefully to Tori Vidalis because she hit that hard shot back up the middle on the curveball up in the zone. So now she's trying to work this pitch more down at the knees.
2-2. Popped up shallow center. Doesn't even get to the grass. Sis Bates is there, and there's one out. Sydney Littlejohn Watkins is now 6 points out of the top 10 on the leaderboard. Here's the Geico leaderboard. In 11th place, just 6 behind Chittister, who's at the plate. Perfect timing. This is popped up foul. Amanda Chittister 0 for 2, hits .214 for the season. Announced she will retire at the end of the Athletes Unlimited Championship season in August. Such a outstanding career out of the University of Michigan. Fantastic for Carol Hutchins and the Wolverines. I think over the last few years, she has played some of the best softball of her life.
She really turned it around. 2019 was an explosive year for her, especially up at the plate, the way that she was swinging it.
Ground ball left side, pops out of Fischer's glove, picks it up, Harrell scoops it, got her at first, and immediately the challenge signal from the dugout from Danielle O'Toole and her entire team.
Watching that play live, I thought she beat out the throw. But it's important to note that she was called out on the field, so there has to be that indisputable video evidence to overturn it.
Here's what's reviewable.
The call on the field was out.
Great scoop by Harrell, it's close.
Yeah, this ball just pops out of the glove of Sam Fischer, tries to get it over there in time. Wow, oof. Looks like she might have got her there.
They might have.
You know, watching that one live, see, that view's telling me something different, Chucky.
Mike Rayner's ready to make the call.
Yes, we have a team challenge. The call at first base. And after further review, on the field, the call is overturned and the runner is safe.
There you have it. Amanda Chittister safe at first base, according to Mike Rayner. So Chittister will stay at first. They overturn the call. And a base runner here in the 6th.
The first view, it looked like the throw might have beat her, but then that second view, a great look by her camera crew, showed that Chittister just snuck her foot in time. And a rare defensive miscue for Sam Fischer over at third base allows a base runner to reach safely. Now with Rachel Garcia up at the plate.
And we were talking about Littlejohn Watkins and Chittister being so close on the leaderboard. And that was ruled an error on Sam Fischer, which is significant because it would have been 10 points as Garcia goes deep to center field. Rachel Garcia has done it again, and we're tied in the 6th.
And it's Rachel Garcia who comes up clutch yet again. Time and time again, you see her zone in when she knows the game's on the line. This one is a curveball that just doesn't break. She smacks this one out to dead center. A no-doubter over the wall. Amanda Chittister celebrating as she was rounding the bases, and her entire team loving it. Garcia tying up this ball game with just one swing of the bat.
There's the leaderboard. Garcia in 4th, just 10 points behind Danielle O'Toole. She is back. For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited AUX season, Aspiration is planting 10 trees. Stay tuned for the grand total at the end of today. See how many trees will be planted thanks to Aspiration's support. They knew it.
Love seeing those reactions off the bat. Jasmine Jackson jumped about as high as the ball was. She was so excited.
Littlejohn Watkins, that was a great day for her in the circle. 5 1/3, gives up 2 runs, and it comes on one swing from Rachel Garcia. as we look at Alyssa Denham coming into this game.
Denham only giving up 3 walks in her 18 and 2/3 appearances. Another pitcher that likes to work the ball down in the zone. She's got that heavy drop ball, and when I talk about it being heavy, it's that late movement, that late sharp break down in the zone that she has on that pitch. She's gonna throw it to both sides of the plate, but she's also gonna mix in an off speed every once in a while to see if she can induce some ground ball outs.
So as of right now, 20 inning points would belong to Team O'Toole. Team Fisher will get a chance in the bottom of the 6th. And then 50 for the game is up for grabs. That's the superstar. Said, hey, remember me? I'm pretty good at this.
Feeling good, feeling healthy. Being clutch in the circle, up at the plate. There is nothing that Rachel Garcia can't do.
Clifton keeps it rolling. First pitch from Alyssa Denham is roped into the outfield.
I think we've seen that more and more too, the deeper we've gotten into AUX. Typically as a batter, when you see a new pitcher come in, you maybe want to take a pitch, see what they've got, but because these batters have so many at-bats against these pitchers, they know what to expect. They know the scouting report going into that at-bat. So you're seeing aggressive swings early in the count when these pitchers come into the ball game.
Denham misses outside, ball 1 to Sachel Palacios. Catcher trying to keep it rolling. There is just 1 out. Kaylee Clifton on first base. Just outside from Denham, who thought that was strike 1. Swing and a miss. She went right back to that spot. That time Palacios goes for it.
And that's one of the things Alyssa Denham learned early in this AUX season, is that if you miss outside, you don't want to over-adjust, bring that ball over the heart of the plate, because that's what the hitters want you to do. You want to just keep painting that outside part of the strike zone or the inside part of the strike zone, but here she seems to be more comfortable going away to Sachel Palacios.
There's the Geico leaderboard. See Team Zirkle, all those players in blue. In game 2 of our doubleheader, Garcia is into 4th. Just 10 points behind O'Toole. Palacios takes first. You say, how do they get, Garcia, maybe she doesn't come to the plate again this game. She's out of the circle. So how could she jump Danielle O'Toole? It's the MVP points, and there's a good chance if they win this game, maybe even if they don't win this game, that Rachel Garcia would be a part of this. The question, I think, is if Danielle O'Toole wins this and holds them scoreless the rest of the way, do both of them end up there? This is the drama that we're dealing with on the final day.
And that's something that's voted upon by the players after each game. They're the ones that submit those votes for the MVP. And that's always something that's important too when it comes to that movement on the leaderboard, especially when you have such great performances like we've seen out of Rachel Garcia. I'd imagine that a lot of people are going to vote for her to be that MVP. And also taking a look at Danielle O'Toole, she would be able to close out this ball game where it felt like Team Fisher had all that momentum, and she would be getting some of my votes as well.
I think they're trying to figure out how they can tie. Lee Andrews showed bunt, pulled back. It's strike 1 anyway.
I think the fun part is that I know you're over here calculating these numbers as they're going on, but these players at the most, they know what's happening when they entered the game, but they don't necessarily what's going on during the game. So their goal is just to win. Go out there and win each inning, win the ball game, because those points they know for sure.
There's a big leaderboard in left center field. You're telling me you wouldn't peek at that occasionally?
I wouldn't peek at it, because then I'd be looking at it all the time rather than focusing on the game at hand. Maybe they're peeking at it.
We kind of got mixed signals as Denham sits down Aaliyah Andrews that some players are looking more often at the leaderboard, others not so much.
Well, I think it's knowing yourself and knowing how you handle yourself mentally in these ball games. Are you somebody that likes to look at numbers on a regular basis? Can you handle knowing where you're at and where you need to be? Or are you somebody that just likes to go out there and play the game of softball, go out there and do whatever it takes to win? And these athletes have been playing softball long enough. They know what they need in order to be successful out there on the field.
When we asked Sam Fisher, too, about how she approaches it, because she is up there on the leaderboard. She was one of the top names that we were looking forward to tracking because of the doubleheader. And Fischer said, doesn't look at the leaderboard. She's looking at other things, though. She's more of stats, like she wants to know batting average and things like that, but not so much the leaderboard.
Which that was very interesting to me, because I feel like if you're a numbers person, then you would look at the leaderboard. But she said, I don't like to look at that. I just like to look at my own individual stats, especially the on-base percentage, because she felt like if her on-base percentage was up, then that means she was getting walks, she was getting good pitches to hit, having those quality at-bats, and most importantly, getting on base for her teammates to be able to drive her in.
She kind of said what you said, though, like if she started looking at the leaderboard, it would consume her. She'd be obsessed with it.
Although I don't think anybody's as obsessed as you are.
I know.
I'm leaving all the math to you.
Okay.
Math is not my strong suit. I will go with what you say.
There it is. 12 points from Fischer to McClenny, 9-8. The win here is going to be huge. The game win is going to be absolutely huge for what this leaderboard looks like and who has a good chance. Bates flips to second, Gano has it, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. Rachel Garcia just keeps on going. Mom's loving it in the outfield.
She knows her daughter is feeling her best when she swings like this. A 2-run shot over the center field wall ties up this ball game as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning.
Our Geico defensive play of the game. Time to give the outfielders some love.
Hey, it's Aralia doing what she does best, laying out parallel to the ground, times it up perfectly. You know the pitchers love seeing plays like that in the outfield. Danielle O'Toole loves it. Taylor Edwards back behind the plate loves it. And Sarah Romero was looking like, you know what, we see that all the time in practice. She does that every day. That's routine for Leah Andrews.
Geico defensive MVP will be announced conclusion of AUX later tonight. I don't know what Leah Andrews is going to be. Gwen Speckis earlier. How about this swing?
Well, this is what she did earlier in this ball game. Took a screwball inside out of the hand of Rachel Garcia and drove that one a whopping 239 feet. 40 points for the home run on just that one swing.
Danielle O'Toole came in just a couple batters later. So this is the first time Speckis has seen O'Toole today. 0-1 count to the former Oregon catcher. Down low, we've got a familiar face in the chair chat. Courtney Gano, we weren't sure you were going to get over there. You're on the wrong side of the field, but you made your way back.
There's always a way. And I think it was a good time to get over here. You know, it's good luck. That's why I'm here.
Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, we were asking kind of everybody how you look at the leaderboard. Do you look at the leaderboard? Do you track it? And she made a comment that you guys had talked about, like, what can we do to try and help get Sam Fischer to the top? What was that conversation like?
Just do whatever we can. We want our captain to win it all. Of course, it's a very competitive day for us, but we want her to win it all. So we're just trying to show out, do our best, pitch by pitch.
We've got Gwen up at the plate. How big was it for you guys to see her hit that home run back in the 4th inning?
Huge. It was her time. I was on second and I just felt it. I'm so happy for her, and I knew she'd come through when we needed it. I'm so proud of her.
How comfortable are you right now at the plate? We talked about it the other day, but you've 3 for 3 today. You're swinging it really good.
Thank you. We talked about it. I think we manifested that, just trusting the process. Honestly, last week I told my husband, I'm like, I think it's time for me to retire. I felt so low, but he reminded me, just trust it. I put the work in, and I guess it's coming together.
No retiring yet. You're swinging it great. We love watching you.
Thanks. I want to say happy birthday, Maddie.
Oh, thank you so much, Courtney. I really appreciate that.
I do have a question for you guys. Who's your favorite person that you've had in the chair chat? I know the right answer, but I want to hear yours.
Well, of course, I'm going to say Courtney Gano after the birthday shout out right there. Of course, it's you.
All right.
We'll see you next game.
Thanks.
Courtney Gano back in the chair chat for the 3rd straight day, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if she tries to go back over there, too,
Yeah.
if this game is still close in the 7th inning.
She might just wheel the chair out there to second base and take a seat. Courtney Gano, see her in the championship season in Rosemont, and a place she's really familiar. It's tremendous as a rookie for the Chicago Bandits. 364. Tore it up as Mariah Mazon lays down the sack bunt. She can do everything.
We know she can really swing it up at the plate, but how about that? You can even see her teammates coming outside of the dugout to give her a high five, laying down that perfectly executed sacrifice bunt, forcing O'Toole to have to move a long way to field that ball, so there was no way she was going to get that lead runner out at second base. Another nice job by Mazon.
And now Sis Bates singled into left fielder last time up. Ball 1 from O'Toole. Lefty-lefty matchup here in a big spot. They would need 2 to push the inning points to the 7th. As of right now, it's Team O'Toole who would collect 20. Bates right side. Vidalis jumps up and tags Sis Bates in the baseline for out number 2.
Not the ultimate result that Sis Bates wants, but either way she does advance Nicole Rangel-Mendez another 60 feet. Just one base closer to scoring the go-ahead run.
Yeah, we're talking inning points, but it's the 50 on the line for the game that means the most at this point. Victoria Hayward watches strike 1. She's 1 for 3 in the game. Reached on a fielder's, or excuse me, she was the last out, grounded into a fielder's choice to end the 4th inning. That one's down low, ball 1. Outside of maybe Rachel Garcia, I don't know if there's someone you would want at the plate more right now, that you just have confidence that can move this runner around.
Well, she just has so many ways that she can get on base. Of course, she has a great eye up at the plate. She can stand in there and hit away like we just saw her do on that pitch. She can slap, she can bunt. So as an infield, you can't play too far back because she's going to exploit any weaknesses that you have on the corners, trying to make sure that she has some really good touch on that bunt, but she can also slap it hard past you as well. And here I think she knows how important that run is over at third base, and we're seeing her stand in to hit away.
(3-1). I think you can see it on Danielle O'Toole's face, how big this is right now. Off speed, catches the top of the zone, full count, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, tie game.
Pulling the string on this pitch, throwing it in a 3-1 count. Again, something that she has so much confidence in throwing.
Here's the pitch. Right side, foul territory. We'll try again. Like we said, a lot on the line here. Danielle O'Toole trying to pitch well, give her team a chance to win this game, maybe put herself in contention for an MVP spot. 3-2, again, same spot. Vidalis wishing that was about 1.5 feet to the left in fair territory.
I also think having somebody like Victoria Hayward up at the plate puts a lot of pressure on the defense because how fast she moves down the first baseline. You have to be absolutely perfect when she puts that ball in play.
Another 3-2. This time it is fair. Vidalis steps on the bag. That's 20 points for everybody on Team O'Toole. Tied 2-2, the Geico leaderboard. O'Toole in third, just 8 points back of second.
Oh my God, it was so fun, you guys.
We said it, relief from Gwen Svekis. Got her mic'd up, hoping to talk to her later this game. You look at Danielle O'Toole, who did move into second place with the out and the 20 inning points. She is just 26 points back of Deja Mulipola. This game, this next inning is huge. They've got to win this game.
It means so much, and we talked about that in the Open too. Of course, the individual stat points are important, but ultimately those win points, that's where you're really going to make some strides on the leaderboard. And of course, those MVP points, which we won't find out about until after the game, voted upon by the players. But where you see these players rack up those big individual game numbers is by getting the wins and then getting those MVP points on top of it.
Amanda Lorenz leads off the 7th. So 10 inning points on the line, 50 for the game. Up the middle, Sis Bates to her left, keeps it in her glove somehow and makes the play.
Sis Bates was playing pretty deep on that ground ball, hit off the end of the bat by Amanda Lorenz. Had to move up the middle and charge it, got it on the short hop, gets rid of it so quickly. That's how she's able to make so many plays on defense, because that transfer is just so fast. As soon as it's in her glove, immediately thrown across the diamond to get out number 1.
Sierra Romero, always a candidate to do something special at the plate. She's 0 for 3 in this one, reached on a fielder's choice back in the 5th, but hitting .419 on the season. She's trying to make her way into the top 10. Ground ball left side foul. Quickly 0-2 for Alyssa Denham. Alyssa Denham came in last inning in relief of Sydney Littlejohn Watkins, who went 5 1/3, gave up the home run. Got her. Romero goes down looking for out number 2.
Great location for this drop ball, low and outside. Starts about thigh high and then drops down to knee high on the outside part of the plate. Good looking pitch out of the hand of Alyssa Denham.
Inning not done yet, Vidalis. Watch his first pitch strike. Surprised Tori took a first pitch strike there.
I think she was surprised too by her reaction when she stepped out of the box. She's notorious for swinging at first pitches, maybe thought that they were going to throw her something way out of the zone to start off this AB. Something like that. I guarantee she was anticipating something off speed, something outside early in the count. But instead, Alyssa Denham pumped a drop ball right on the outside half.
One, misses ball 2. Dallas was even asking home plate umpire Scott Mayer about that. That's just, are you just trying to dial it in as a hitter, trying to make sure you know where the strike zone is?
Yeah, when you've got movement too, moving down in the zone, it's so important to establish the low part of that strike zone. We talk about it a lot from the pitcher's perspective, them wanting to figure out what sorts of calls they're going to get behind the plate, but it's equally as important for the hitters to understand where that zone is, figure out what pitches they need to go after and which pitches that they can take. In a similar location that Sierra Romero just struck out on the at-bat before, so that's why there's that constant communication with the batters and the catcher with that home plate umpire.
2-2, Team Fisher wants a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. Jammed Vidalis, but she fouls it back. Sam Fisher hoping Alyssa Denham can keep this tied. There's Rachel Garcia. 2-2 Vidalis. Under the glove of Fisher, into the corner. Vidalis headed for second. And it's a 2-out double for Tori Vidalis.
You can see Tori learning from every single pitch that she was getting. Denham takes a bit off of this. This is that off-speed pitch. Dallas a bit out in front, and it just scoots underneath the glove of Sam Fischer. 9 times out of 10, that's a ball that Sam Fischer fields, but because it was hit so hard, just went right underneath that leather.
Hoping Denham can get out of it. Runner in scoring position with 2 away for Chittister. We've seen her come up clutch a few times herself here at AUX. 1-0 count. Chittister 0 for 3. High chopper. Denham backs up and makes the play to first. A chance for Sam Fischer and Team Fischer to win it in the bottom of the 7th. This is earlier in the game. Gwen Svekis, just a monster shot.
Coming up clutch when her team needed her. This is a pitch inside, and she turns on it, unloads for this 2-run shot way over those left field bleachers. That swing was huge back in the bottom of the 4th inning to give them the lead and also give them those really important rollover inning points.
For every run scored during this year's Athletes Unlimited AUX season, Aspiration plants 10 trees. So stay tuned. 1 more game to go. We'll see how many they plant. We have Gwen Svekis mic'd up in the dugout. Gwen, we saw the swing and we saw your reaction. What was the feeling going through your mind at that time?
Well, I know I ran around the base path like a maniac screaming. And I know some people are probably like, man, act like you've done it before, but this game has definitely kept me humble during AUX. So this swing was really nice, and it was nice to be surrounded by teammates that I know believe in me no matter what's going on with me.
And huge here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Did you guys come together to talk about some adjustments you want to make up at the plate here?
I think right now, I mean, the first game we played Thule, we hit her pretty well, and this game, I think we're seeing her pretty well, so we just talked about staying together and finishing the game on our terms and not leaving anything up in the air right now.
Gwen, how much are you guys trying to, Sydney Littlejohn Watkins talked about doing it for Sam Fischer. How much is that kind of in the back of your mind?
It's very much in the front of our mind. I mean, not the point system in the scoreboard, but Sam has just had a very awesome season, coming off a year where maybe she didn't play as well in the championship season last year. So I'm so proud of her. She put in so much work in the offseason, and I think our whole team is trying to rally behind her and really put her out on top this year.
Gwen, thank you so much for joining us. Keep it up.
Yeah, thanks you guys.
Gwen Svekis and Team Fischer will play 1 more game tonight against Team Zirkle. There's plenty of Morgan Zirkle's players at the top of the leaderboard as well. That's coming up next on ESPNU. And a great battle to start this 7th inning. 10 inning points on the line, 50 win points. So whoever does it, they're gonna get 60. 3-2 count from O'Toole to Megan Wiggins. Danielle O'Toole in 2nd place on our Geico leaderboard. If her team can win, she will jump to the top. The question is, what will happen with MVP points? Will Rachel Garcia be up there? Will she be able to jump O'Toole? Will Danielle be able to claim an MVP spot?
I knew we were going to have some drama today, just with how close the leaderboard is. But how about the drama in this game? 2 2-run shots, that's the only scoring that we've seen. 1 from Rachel Garcia, 1 from Gwen Svekis. Tie ball game, bottom of the 7th inning. With some of the veterans in this league up at the plate.
Ground ball, past Clifton, base hit into center field, and Wiggins is aboard with nobody out.
It's a great at-bat by Megan Wiggins to start off this inning. Saw a lot of pitches, really made Danielle O'Toole work out there in the circle and set the table for Sam Fischer up at the plate. One of the hottest hitters throughout this entire AUX season comes up with an opportunity to win the ball game for her squad.
And she's due today, 0 for 3. 12 points behind McClenny. 76 behind Sydney Romero in 7th place, and it gets really tight when you get up into that top 7. A 1-0 count for Danielle O'Toole. Pitch to Fischer. Half-hearted swing, strike one.
Curveball outside, tried to hold up on it. Wonder if she was maybe looking for another pitch, maybe trying to sit an off-speed pitch there.
1-1, Fischer, chance for two. Romero tags Wiggins, throws to first, got her! Huge play by Sierra Romero.
Double plays are a pitcher's best friend, and it just completely changed the momentum of the energy in this ball game. Sam Fischer hits this one hard, and a smart play by Sierra Romero, not to go to second base, but to tag Megan Wiggins. Then she's able to throw the ball to first base for that huge double play. Wiggins almost ran into that out. Sometimes you're going to see batters, when they see the ground ball in front of them, try to get into a rundown to force that second baseman to just take a couple of extra steps to get that out to allow the base runner to reach base safely at first. But either way, a double play for Team O'Toole.
O'Toole and Palacios going to talk things over as they go at Taylor Edwards. Danielle O'Toole just looks so locked in the circle right now. But this is a spot Taylor Edwards is comfortable in. 1-0. Outside ball two. And you really don't want to lose Edwards because Courtney Gano's on deck.
That's what my eyes are going on deck right now too. And we know that what Taylor Edwards can do at the plate, but Courtney Gano seeing the ball so well. Spraying the ball all throughout the field, and sometimes when you just are seeing the ball well, things go your way. Dropping some balls out into the grass. That's exactly what they'd need here.
O'Toole 18 points off first place. Line shot through the left side, and a two-out base runner for Courtney Gano, who's perfect coming into this at bat. She's been in her lucky chair in this game. Has a chance. The winning run is on first.
These are the types of at-bats that you envision as a batter too. When you're working in the off-season, you're grinding away, seeing as much live pitching as you possibly can to get yourself ready. You're prepared for moments like this.
Gano was swinging first pitch. She crushed that. Actually might have hit one of our cables for the broadcast. Jasmine Jackson had to throw it back over the fence. 0-1 count to Gano. Two singles, a double, and she scored back in the fourth. All four runs have come in just 2 innings. Bottom of the fourth, top of the sixth. 0-2 for O'Toole. Little intensity right now. I mean, it's tense.
I feel the tension up here in the booth too. It's a big moment, a big pitch.
Off the end of the bat, Romero charging, and that's going to do it. Sierra Romero taking care of business defensively for her captain, Danielle O'Toole. Extra innings we go, 60 points on the line. Back in San Diego, fans, you can celebrate the 50th anniversary of Title IX by owning a piece of AU history. Go to auprosports.com and click on NFT in the header and purchase an exclusive AUX softball and Title IX NFT, or place a bid on Sis Bates' game-worn Title IX jersey and one-of-one NFT. Extra innings we go. You get one additional captain's challenge per extra inning. One thing to note, there are no individual stat points awarded. Got the international tiebreaker rule. Runner will start at second base, but there are no individual stat points to be awarded. So we have 60 points on the line. 10 for the 7th inning, 50 for the game. This is absolutely huge. O'Toole's in second, Garcia's in fourth. You see Sam Fischer in 9th place, Chittister there in 10th. All of them trying to move up right now. For Garcia and O'Toole, they have one spot on their mind in the next 10 minutes, and that is the top spot.
Well, it's important, too, because you've got runner on second base, and now you've got one of your hottest hitters in Rachel Garcia up at the plate. And remember, there are no coaches out here, so these players are making the decisions themselves if they want to try to maybe lay down a sacrifice bunt to advance Chittister that 60 feet, or do you let Rachel Garcia stand in there and swing away?
Inside ball one, what would you do? Do you take the bat out of her hand? And
I think it depends on how comfortable Garcia is with bunting. If she's not comfortable, then you just stand in there and let her hit away, especially with the way that she's swinging the bat right now.
So no individual stat points to be had, but Rachel Garcia delivers here, and she would almost be a lock for an MVP spot. Two-0 count. Chittister, the runner at second base. Way inside, Garcia fights it off. Where do you not want to miss right now if you're Alyssa Denham?
About thigh high to belt high inside. That's where you do not want to miss, because that's right in her wheelhouse. That pitch was even further inside, so that's a good spot because you're going to get that foul ball and get a strike on there. But we saw her the first 2 pitches of this at-bat really forcing that ball outside to see if you can get a ground ball out.
2-1 to Garcia. Inside again, another foul ball. She has been pounding the inside part of the zone. Now I'll ask you this, where do you go here with this 2-2 pitch?
Put me on the spot. I got to put on my pitcher's cap. I still like the idea of going with the drop ball low and away, because that's a really difficult pitch for a batter to leave the yard, and ultimately you want to keep the ball in the park.
2-2, she does go away. Tough chopper for Gano, but she handles it. It works as a sacrifice for Garcia as Chittister moves to third.
Talked a lot about Courtney Gano's bat, but again, the way that she's been able to field her second base position, that second hop took a bit of a funky hop on her too, stuck with it, got that out over at first, but it did advance Amanda Chittister over to third base. Now if you're Kaylee Clifton up at the plate, you're trying to get something elevated in the zone, fly ball out to the outfield deep enough to score Amanda Chittister.
First pitch, inside corner, strike one. Clifton was the first batter to face Denham in the 6th inning. Team Zirkle in the stands waiting. Deja Mulipola sits atop the leaderboard. That's her right there, number 15. 14 points clear. Ground ball left side, foul. Denham has Clifton in a tough spot, 0-2. This is a huge out right here. Outside corner, too far outside, ball one.
It's a good take by Kaylee Clifton, and I like that spot by Alyssa Denham as well. 0-2 count, just inch that ball further and further away to see if you can get a swing. If she watches that one go by.
One, 2 to Clifton. Up and out of the zone, evens the count. Danielle O'Toole watching. Sam Fischer at third base, hoping Denham can give him a chance in the 8th. Clifton pops it up. This is a tough spot and a long run for Rangel Mendez. Fair ball, Rangel Mendez falls. Clifton rounds second. and she's into third base. The go-ahead run comes across.
Clifton mishit this ball out to right field, but it had good movement on it going down the right field line. You can see where this pitch is located. She gets underneath on her swing. Nicole Rangel-Mendez having to run a long way for this ball. It bounces right on the chalk line down that right field line. Allows Chittister to score easily. And because she tripped on her way to get that ball, Kaylee Clifton moved all the way over to third base.
I'm not certain if I'm Sam Fisher if I don't challenge that just to take the chances. You're not going to lose anything, really.
It's
you just
really
got an
close.
additional challenge. I actually thought in real time it was foul, but
yeah. We've been proven wrong a couple of times in what we saw happen in live.
they will not challenge. 1 out. Clifton on third, and Sachel Palacios at the plate now. Watches ball 1 outside.
That's tough too for Alyssa Denham because that's a good pitch. Shallow fly ball out to right field, but because your outfield was playing pretty deep, that ball just bounces in front of Rangel-Mendez.
Palacios right side. Gano diving. Clifton scores. A 2-run lead for Team O'Toole.
Palacios is a batter that gets really good extension on her swings. Doesn't get all of this pitch, but it's just that little extra bit of extension she gets when she follows through that gets this ball through the 3-4 hole, and another insurance run comes across for Team O'Toole.
And that's it for Alyssa Denham. Team O'Toole in a great spot. A 2-run lead, just 1 out and a runner on. Danielle O'Toole down 14 points behind Deja Mulipola, who looks extremely stressed in the stands right now.
She's fueling up for her game. That's what she's doing right now.
Danielle O'Toole, a chance to jump her with a win and potentially some MVP points. And here's a question. If Danielle O'Toole comes out in the 8th inning, puts a 0 up, are you voting for her as MVP if you're a player?
Yeah, I definitely think she gets some MVP points. I think Rachel Garcia, who we're taking a look at right now, gets some MVP points. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Gwen Savekis, because you don't just have to come from the winning team. It's the entire field on both sides and both dugouts that are voted upon.
It's voted on by the players and the Unlimited Club, so you can vote at home too who you think should be an MVP here in game 1 of the day. It's a doubleheader for Team Fisher. And it's not over, but if you're Rachel Fico, the thought is you got to get out of it right here.
And she's come into some tough situations throughout this entire AUX season. One of the more veteran players, a lot of professional seasons under her belt.
Wow.
Young fans
Give me some energy. Woo!
ready. Autographs coming up soon from Team O'Toole.
More, yeah!
They'll have to sit back and watch. And at that point, Madison Shipman, I'm going to ask you again. When your time is done at AUX, are you finally going to look at the scoreboard and start to track it for the last game?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
If I'm done playing, then yeah, I've got my eyes on the leaderboard the entire time.
I had to get you somewhere looking at the leaderboard. You're obsessed.
I'll look at the leaderboard when I'm done playing, when I don't have to think about the numbers and I just watch the other players compete on the field. That's when I'm going to take a look at it.
0-1 Fico to Aaliyah Andrews. That runs outside, ball 1. Tough spot in the order. Aaliyah Andrews, and then you flip it to the top, and Jasmine Jackson. You said it, though. Rachel Fico, she's been great in relief situations, specifically here at AUX. Danielle O'Toole still coaching first base. Even though she's ready to go back out for the 8th inning, still over there coaching first. Staying warm.
She's done a really nice job coaching first base, too, on a lot of these plays where these runners are going to second base. You can see her sending her runners. She knows what she's doing down there.
Andrews staying alive, a 2-2 count. Leah Andrews keep the line moving. Another foul ball. We saw the glove from Aaliyah Andrews helping her pitcher out earlier in this game. O'Toole and Garcia leading the way for Team O'Toole, and Sam Fischer against so many. It's not over, but this game win is so huge for her chances to climb the leaderboard further today and make a push for that top spot. This win would be huge for Sam Fischer and for those two.
I was going to say, those two were doing whatever they could coming into this ball game to come out with a win.
Left side, Fischer goes 2. They get the lead runner, but Andrews is on at first with 2 outs.
And we talked about players maybe not necessarily looking at the leaderboard, but if you're anybody on Team O'Toole, you know that Team Fischer has a bit of an advantage, I'm going to call it, because they have the doubleheader day, because they have 2 games to try to rack up some of those points to get Sam Fischer further up on the leaderboard. So they were coming into this ball game doing whatever they could to get that win, to keep Danielle O'Toole as far up there as they possibly could.
Last chance, Jasmine Jackson. Jazz hitting .343 on the season. 1-0. Up top, 2-0. Jasmine Jackson works as the manager of civic leadership for AU. Also on the player executive committee for softball. Heard from her family in the stands rooting her on. Off speed from Fico. Had her guessing 2-2. Line shot. Gano grabs it, flips to first just in case, and that'll do it. 2 runs for Team O'Toole in the 8th, and they control this game as we go to the bottom half.
Well, it's the 8th inning with a runner on second base, and it's Kaylee Clifton coming through clutch, drives that ball down the right field line. Amanda Chittister scores, and then it's Sashel Palacios plating the insurance run for Team O'Toole. They've got the 4-2 lead headed into the bottom of the 8th.
$60 points up for grabs for the 7th inning and for the game. Danielle O'Toole, 14 points behind Mulipola, 24 points ahead of her teammate Rachel Garcia in 4th place. So because there's no individual stat points, they will both get the win points if their team comes out on top, and then it comes down to who and if they get MVP votes, and I think both of them will. That's a total guess. But because it's a 24-point spread, you would have to have Garcia get the 1 and O'Toole take the 3 for Rachel to actually jump over Danielle O'Toole.
Yeah, to be clear, we don't have a say in the MVP votes. That's all player decided. They're the ones that vote on it. But just purely based off of performances, I think you're exactly right. I think that O'Toole's going to get some of those MVP votes, and I think that Rachel Garcia, with what she was able to do with the bat, with that 2-run shot, she's going to be getting some too.
You might have a say if you're sneaking votes on your Athletes Unlimited app. Harrell stays with it, and it works as a sacrifice if Romero can get it to first, and she can. So they get Harrell, but Gano moves to 3rd.
Great adjustment by Allie Harrell. She had already struck out 3 times in this ball game, and she knew her team needed her to put the ball in play somewhere, advance that runner over. Curveball tailing away from her. She gets around it even. An even better swing to be able to pull that one to the right side to make sure that Courtney Gano was able to advance to 3rd.
Gwen Svekis has already delivered 1 2-run shot today, and it was a shot. 0-1 count from O'Toole. Off speed, 0-2. to Svekis. Outside, ball 1. huge for Sam Fischer. One more game coming up on ESPNU, 20 minutes following the conclusion of this one. 1-2. Svekis right side. Vidalis goes to first. Gano scores. 1-run game, but there's 2 outs.
How important was that swing by Sachel Palacios in the top of the 8th inning to bring across that additional insurance run? Gwen puts the ball in play, scores the run to bring the score within 1 here. But now Danielle O'Toole has 2 away with nobody on base.
The late addition, Mariah Mazon. We've seen her in the circle, we've seen her at the dish, we've seen her in right field. Trying to be the hero into right center field. This could do it. Jackson over, and it's done. Team O'Toole wins it in 8 innings. 60 points for everybody on Team O'Toole. Those have not been added into our Geico leaderboard yet. There is movement at the top, though. There it is, the inning points. Still waiting for the game win points. O'Toole and Garcia, when we return, will be at the top of the leaderboard. MVP points still have to be calculated. We're back in 20 minutes here on ESPNU for our entire crew. For Madison Shipman, Key Michael, I'm Chucky Kempf. You can visit auprosports.com for the up-to-date leaderboard, but stick around. 20 minutes, we'll crown a champion on ESPNU later tonight.